Victory Talk. We are so excited to have you in that place with us tonight. It is Friday. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yes.
Coming through with that high energy, even though it's dark outside and usually the sun is still shining around this time, but it's still Friday. I don't know if it's sundown or not because it's dark, so I don't know. But welcome to Victory Talk, y'all. We have an exciting show, as always, jam slam packed with hot topics. We got my sissy from another Missy over there sipping and know she gotta say hi. Say hey.
Hey, y'all.
We got our other sissy. She's below on my screen. I don't know how she looking on y'all screen. Say hey, y'all. Hi. And we got Miss Victoria, a.k.a. Mama Sugar. Last but not least, say hey, y'all.
Hey.
So we want to welcome you guys to Hot Topics tonight. There are no guests on our show tonight. We are family.
I got all my sisters with me.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. We did that one time before. That's all.
Yes.
We have to incorporate that in more often. All right, y'all. So it is Friday. Make sure to tell a friend that Victory Talk is on and live. YouTube, Facebook Live, Victory Talk Show. Call somebody, text somebody, tweet somebody, yell in the other room, tell them get up and get in front of this device, tablet, smartphone, whatever it is that they got, because it's going to be hot tonight, y'all. So we're going to jump right on in there with our first topic for tonight, because y'all already know how we do. We always run out of time because it just goes by so fast. And I mean, we just really need a longer show for hot topics, but we working on that a little bit in the background. We working on that. Maybe. So our first topic for tonight, we're going to talk about mental health a little bit, you guys. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so how more appropriate to open up the show and talk about mental health a little bit. So the singer Pink, I don't know how many of you guys know who Pink is. I don't even think her hair is pink anymore, but she was coined the name Pink because she used to wear her hair in like this hot pink color, pop singer. And so she opened up about some awful panic attacks that she experienced in her early 20s, stating that it was terrifying. So she's opening up about her mental health struggles to remind young people dealing with similar issues that it does get better. In honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, the singer partnered up with the Child Mind Institute for its new Dare to Share campaign. And that's an effort to encourage kids to talk about their own mental health struggles. So Pink got candid about suffering debilitating panic attacks in her early 20s, how she found help, and why it's important for young people to build a supportive community. So she went on to say she used to get pretty awful panic attacks. She didn't have anybody to talk to about it, and she didn't know what to do. She felt like she was having strokes and stroke-like symptoms, and it was terrifying. And, you know, going back and forth to the ER, having EKGs, and they're always saying, you're fine, it's nothing wrong with you, it's in your head. So then she reached out to and started to see a therapist. She put together what she calls a spiritual toolbox, and that's comprised of things like candles and incense. And she also started to practice various forms of meditation just to take care of her heart, and her head. And so we just want to know, you know, what are your thoughts on this story? What are some ways that you have found helpful when you're in a state of panic, depression, anxiety, worry, whatever? Because we know that we all go through these things, whether we're diagnosed with something or not. So we want to, you know, share with our audience and have them chime in a little bit on maybe some helpful tips, some things that you can do to try to help, you know, when you're in these moments.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and jump in there first. So I just want to say that y'all know I'm real transparent, and I like to keep it real because I know as Christians, the first thing that we should do is call on the name of Jesus. Do we always do that? I mean, honestly, do we always do that? I see you down there in the corner, Mama Sugar, but I'm still growing. First lady and all, I'm still growing. I don't always immediately call on Jesus. I'm getting better. And, I'm growing. The more I grow spiritually, and the more that I grow, emotionally and mentally, I'm getting better. But I don't always do that. Sometimes, I reach out to my lovey, I reach out to my sisters, and, sometimes, I try various different things. So, yeah, I got a lot in my toolbox that I go to. Sometimes, just like anybody else, I get, withdrawn, I shut down, and, I become more introverted than I already am. And so it's different, tactics that I use to try to get myself over the hump when I'm feeling, in that state. It happens to everybody. There's not one of us that doesn't have, a moment every now and then.
Right.
And sometimes, self-care, I might have to, do a little window shopping, do a little Amazon shopping. I might have to, go take me a hot shower, bubble bath, go get a massage, whatever I can do, that whatever I feel like doing in the moment. Don't allow yourself to be boxed in. Just do what you need to do, as long as whatever it is that you need to do is not hurting yourself, hurting somebody else, because that's big. That's big. We have to be careful not to lash out, because, when we're having a moment, we can say some stuff out of our mouths, especially as women. We can say some stuff to people that is not very nice and can be very hurtful. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents, and I'm going to jump back out.
Now, when I say I call on the name of Jesus, I don't mean that I always go into a deep prayer. The first thing I say is, Lord, help me. Lord, what's going on? Lord, why me? So I do call on him, but it's not necessarily a deep, gone out prayer or whatever, long situation. But I do, before probably 9 times out of 10, before I get an answer from God, I am calling my daughter, calling my son. Guess what happened? So yeah, that's my little 2 cents.
What you got?
We got a comment on YouTube. Well, first, let's say hey to everybody that's tuning in. I'm sorry. Hey, Panetta. Hey, Richard. Cynthia Brinkley Scott. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Sunshine. That's our regulars, so we always got to show our regulars some love. Happy Friday, y'all. So we're talking about mental health, and Richard Coleman says, to share my own personal testimony, I used to suffer from depression back in my late teens and into my early 20s. I had even thoughts of wanting to commit suicide at times. And he's saying, please seek help. And so, just piggybacking in on, what Lady J was saying, I know that we're supposed to call on the Lord. And when I have my moments, of course, I'm kind of doing that in the background. But when we're in the midst of it all, especially when we're talking about anxiety and panic attacks, it's happening so quickly that not only can I try to stop to focus on calling on the Lord, I can't even breathe, and so trying to tell myself to breathe first, and then, trying to slow my heart rate down and stop from sweating and stop from spinning and doing all of the things, the whirlwind of emotions that are happening, when it's coming on. I think, depending on the level of it, you might have to try to gather your bearings first before doing that. But it is extremely important, we didn't have this in there tonight, but suicide, y'all. Oh my gosh. The Judd mom, I forget her name. It might have been Naomi. I don't want to call it out wrong, but the Judd, the country singers, the mom just committed suicide at 76 years old. This happened this week. And, it's just, it is so real, and it is happening so often and so much. And so, we don't want to harp on this too long, but it's just really real. And we encourage everybody to, check on your strong friends, please. Y'all hear me say it all the time. Being the strong friend, speaking from personal experience, they might seem like they have it all together and they're okay, but they're the ones that you really have to watch out for because they're quiet. They don't ask for much. They don't wave the white flag. We just get quiet and curl up somewhere, and you wouldn't even know, what's happening. And anxiety and panic tie in with depression in a major way. It's so easy, to fall into that trap. And so I'm gonna let Lisa go ahead and speak on it, but just check on your strong friends, check on your weak friends, check in on everybody.
Yeah.
Don't just assume that just because people, and if they tell you they're okay, your people, if they're okay. Don't take them at their word if they just brush you off and say they're okay and they're acting different and behaving different. Don't let them pop up on them. Pull up if you have to. Y'all know I'll pull up quick. These three ladies right here already know if I don't hear from you after a certain time, and it ain't gonna be much past a day, I'm pulling up. So make sure you check on your people.
She the crazy little sister, y'all.
For me, I agree with you because I have anxiety, and trying to remember to breathe is the most important thing because you feel like you're not breathing, and then all the other symptoms come. So I understand what Pink is saying because it really does hurt, and it is very scary, and all the symptoms that come with it, it seems like these things are real, even though our pastors say what fear is false evidence appearing real, but it seems real. So I do have all of you, and then I also have a prayer partner that I can call 2-3 o'clock in the morning to say, hey, I need you to just, I need something real, something real to add into the equation, something that I can trust or, just to cling on to when you're having that moment where you just are so confused. And for me, it always leads up to something that I'm afraid to do. You get that pending doom feeling, and then everything just comes, and then your body just responds to it. I learned to press through. I learned to stay focused. I learned to absorb other people's energy, people that you trust. So I'm in it with you. So if you're going through something, then I can attach on to what you're going through, and helping you helps me. So in my anxiety group on Facebook, a lot of that is just counseling each other through the whole thing. And then you realize that what you typed comes back to you. And especially when you're reading over for grammar's errors and you're reading it, you're putting it back into your spirit. So when God says, speak to your storm, that's exactly what we're doing.
I love that. I love it. And I just love the fact that, and y'all heard it here first. You're hearing from, we got a reverend on the line. We got a minister on the line. We have a prayer warrior, 2 of them on the line. We have people who are in the church, Christian women, and we're telling you, it's okay to seek therapy. It's okay to, have your groups. It's okay to, light your candles and your lavender and do all of the things outside of praying. Yes, we need to pray, but we also sometimes need physical things. We also sometimes need medical attention. We also sometimes need licensed therapists who went to school and are educated and are able to help us. We sometimes need to cry. We sometimes need to take a moment. It's okay to take a moment. Just don't stay there too long.
Amen. This is so, I love this topic. I know we got to move on, but I love this topic, especially in this month, because we as mothers, and all 4 of us are sitting here, we're mothers and grandmothers, but we try to be strong for everybody and be able to bear the weight of everything. And sometimes we do not take the time for ourselves. We do not acknowledge that, hey, I'm not good. We're first to say, push our feelings to the back and say, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. My husband need this. My children need that. The job need this. The church need that. We are so quick to do that, but we can't. We can't. We've got to, when those feelings come, and we can't wait until they amount to so much, then it's combustible and it's blowing up. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm speaking from, guilt in that respect. I will wait until, everything has piled up, and then
Overwhelming.
what's the boiling pot?
Yeah.
It boils over. So we've got to do better about that, mothers, sisters, ladies. That's my other 2 cents.
Absolutely. Tanisha, she's on Facebook. She says yoga, deep breathing, and more prayer lately for her is ways that she deals with anxiety.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
also, we got one more comment from Richard. He says, I usually take time for myself to go work out if I feel stressed, either at home or at the gym. And that's very good. We all have our ways of coping, whatever it may be. But I like to work out too, Richard. I find that just relieving, those, whatever it is that they call it, when you have it all like bottled up and you're tight and you're tense, and you go like punch a punching bag, or don't kick nobody, but kick something. Punch the air if you need. You hear, we always talk about the joke about people punching the air. Punch the air. Go lift some weights. Run around the block a couple times. If you don't have a gym membership, it's plenty of things that you can do at the house. I love the yoga idea, Tanisha. There's yoga videos on YouTube. Figure out a way, to be able to de-stress. I know we all adults here, so there's another way to de-stress, but that always works too.
That absolutely works. Okay, with that said, Richard, yes, Richard, we just saw your comment. Richard said to all of the men out there, don't be afraid to cry. Cry if you need to cry. Absolutely. And that's absolutely all of us. And Anna Zimmerman. Hey, Anna. We worked with Anna at Bayview. She said 2 chicks from Bayview. She laughing out loud. Well, welcome to the show. We're excited to have you here with us. We welcome you. All right. And then we have another comment. Kevin Carey. I just missed it. Can somebody else catch it?
He said, praise the Lord. Also, leaders can be trained in mental health first aid.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, Sunshine, you go ahead and try that yoga. Let us know how that do, girl. All right, we're going to move on to our next topic. I found this one really interesting. This topic is about a mom with adopted Black daughters, and she was asked for papers to prove that the children belonged to her. Well, this particular one kid belonged to her at a hospital. Rachel Gerlinghouse took her eldest daughter to a scheduled surgery appointment and wanted to focus her energy on soothing her child, but she couldn't. The woman handling their registration asked her an array of unexpected questions. The employee asked the mother to provide her daughter's papers, even though they had the same surname, and presented all the required medical insurance information. The employee made another request for the papers because she allegedly needed something that proved the girl belonged to Gerlinghouse. The mother was furious, as I can only imagine that she was. And she tried to keep a straight face as she replied, well, she's calling me mommy. We have the same last name and we have the same insurance. She's my daughter. The employee was still not satisfied. Gerlinghouse told her they didn't carry around their children's birth certificates or court papers. The mother also noticed a white family standing just a few feet from them. Per Gerlinghouse, the family wasn't subjected to the same questions or interrogation, and while she understood the need to identify parents and the children in the hospital, she felt their encounter was based on false assumptions. Gerlinghouse hoped her story would educate others or interacting with families who look different from theirs. She hoped her experience would save others from similar interrogations and unnecessary questions. So, what do you think? Well, let me say this before I ask my question, because I wanted to share this with you guys. This couple, they adopted four, not one, not two, not three, but four African American children. They're a white couple. I think it's awesome. They saw some children in a system who they needed a family, and so they adopted this family. And so I just think that I don't know if you've looked it up and looked into it, but check it out. It's just amazing to me, and I applaud them. I know that it's hard. As a grandparent of an interracial granddaughter, you know, clearly you guys have all seen Cammie. Cammie, with her cute little self, she's creamy. I'm going to say she's creamy, but she has her father's whole face, right down to the dimples, you know. But she's very, I mean, she's light because she's mixed. And, you know, she's got her mother's complexion, I suppose you would say. But she got her father's whole face. And I can only imagine, you know, that when he takes her to the doctors or something like that, that he may have this kind of encounter too. So what do you guys think about this? Was the hospital employee possibly following protocol or just doing too much?
He was definitely doing too much. I mean, really, I don't care if the child is blue. The woman had the insurance papers for the child. They definitely had a relationship. It's not like the child was saying, help me, I'm kidnapped or something like that. I mean, I don't know where this woman received her training or whatever. But if I was the mom, I would definitely ask to see her supervisor or talk to somebody higher up, because she needs to be, you know, corrected and taught the right way to handle situations. She was just doing too much.
Yeah, I think she was definitely doing too much.
I agree with Miss Victoria. And I say to all the people that wants to adopt African American children, please do so. Don't let this situation deter you because, you know, of someone's ignorance. Advance it against you, because you are doing a great thing. Like, all children need a family that loves them. And like I said, I agree, that woman is doing too much. Mom handled herself very well. I might have been a little bit upset because now my child, we're threatened. You're threatening my family. So yeah.
Especially in a health situation. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump in there. Especially in a health situation, this child came for medical assistance.
That's what I was.
It's not like, you know, she just came willy-nilly to do something else. And
it's almost like you know, it's an extra slap in the face, because, you know, not only are you, you know, questioning me in an inappropriate way, but my child is being witness to this. So I can only imagine, you know, how the child is being made to feel. Clearly, you know, we look different, you know, but we are a family, and my parents, you know, they're treating me like we're all family because we are. So how dare some outside person, you know, I'm here like to try to get a service, and now I'm being made as a child to feel uncomfortable, you know. So now her adopted parents have to answer questions that they, you know, probably weren't prepared on the spot to answer because of somebody doing the most. Like, ma'am, I agree with Lisa. She definitely handled it well. It said that she was furious and tried to keep a straight face, but she definitely, it could have went like totally left, because, you know, we get in our emotions and feelings sometimes, and it just really could have been a bigger scene than it was. So kudos to the mom for remaining calm and being able to, and y'all talk about speak to a supervisor. I'd sue somebody quick. Y'all already know. Call whoever, where the commercial, the man on the TV, little 1-800 numbers, they be popping up for stuff. I'm suing everybody. I'm going right to my car and Google and call the first lawyer that pops up. Discrimination. When can I be at your office?
Mm. Any comments? Okay, there's some comments out there, y'all. Wait a minute. Let me see. Richard says, just goes to show that unfortunately, racism still exists even within the social service sector. True,
Wow.
true. And he also said, race or color should never matter when it comes to adoption. It's all about giving TLC tender love and care. Yes,
Yes,
Richard, I agree.
absolutely.
Anybody
All right, y'all.
else?
We gonna keep rolling.
We're
We
gonna
gonna
keep
keep rolling.
rolling.
All right, so the next thing we want to talk about is COVID. All right, y'all. So it's been a minute. We know we was beating y'all over the head with COVID for a long, long time, but it's been a minute since we talked about it. This article is not even about these gas prices, but I'm really like feeling some type of way about these daggone $4.40 per gallon gas prices. But President Biden recently delivered remarks from the White House about the need for additional congressional pandemic related funding before the new subvariant triggers another wave of infection. So, mind you, during the course of, doing our research for the topics and all, and we're reading on the things, I'm still getting emails from the school every single day about these COVID cases. I don't know. It's weird because when COVID first seemed to come on, we were shut down for a while and then things got better and then they got worse. But it's like now around this time, springtime, the temperatures started warming up. Stuff was a little quiet before. But I declare these numbers are they're steadily rising back up. And, so he's saying that he's concerned that a lack of funds for masks, vaccines, and therapeutics could harm the nation's ability to respond to a new surge. He's arguing in his recent remarks. He's saying if we fail to invest, we leave ourselves vulnerable. He says a day after the CDC announced that the most recent variant is at least 30% more transmissible than the original strain of Omicron in the US. And Biden is saying we can't wait until we find ourselves in the midst of another surge to act. By then, it'll be too late. He's saying we're now in a new movement in this pandemic. It doesn't mean it's over. It just means that it no longer controls our lives. So the rising COVID cases in many countries, after they're just starting to recover from the winter's wave, and hospitalizations are ticking up as well. So what are you guys' thoughts on this? I mean, at this point, do we stay masked forever? Is it still safe to relax for the summer a little bit? Like, will it ever be over? Like, what do y'all, I don't know.
Again, I think I really believe that this is our new way of life. This is how we operate now. This is how we live. And I don't know about the rest of y'all. I'm just gonna keep on wearing my mask. I see when I go into the stores, I see people walking around with no mask. I listen. One day I went to the store without my mask and realized it. I was like, boy, I turned around so fast because I feel more comfortable, and I know that the mask is not 100% guaranteed. I get that. Mm-hmm. However, I feel more comfortable with my mask on. If I'm in, the presence of a small group of people and we're not up on each other, I'm okay. Mm-hmm. But if we are, in a, massive group or whatever, no, I need my mask. I just, and you know what? I'm going to keep on hand sanitizing. I'm going to keep on washing. I'm going to keep on wiping down. Going to keep on sterilizing because that's how you just going to protect yourselves. And yes, I understand what Biden is saying, President Biden. I understand what he is saying. And I agree with him. We can't wait until we are knee deep in it again to try to, get the funds and figure out, what to do and where to go. Listen, let's prepare for it ahead of time because what's happening. You can see it. That's my thought.
And I really think that the businesses and places need to continue to operate the way that they have been in just allowing, people extra PTO time or sick time or COVID time, whatever category they need to do. The schools being understanding of, the kids and their absences and stuff, because I tell you, it really is not going anywhere. I agree with you, Lady J. I'm just going to continue to wear it. And at this point, I think that a lot of people who aren't are doing so because they feel so alienated because people look at you crazy when you have a mask on now and try to make people feel uncomfortable or a certain type of way. And I just be like, oh well, me and my husband, we have on our masks, we walk around looking at everybody without theirs. You do you, or whatever it is that you feel comfortable doing. But yeah, I don't think that the masks are going anywhere. And hopefully we'll get to a point where even with all of these different variants and stuff like that, we'll be able to better manage. But it's definitely not going anywhere. It's all of these colds that people have. Oh, summer colds, spring, well, it's not summer, but spring colds, allergies, all of that. No, it's probably COVID. But people aren't really like taking tests. Michelle and I were talking about that the other day. People aren't even really testing as much because it's presenting as allergies or colds.
Yeah.
You're taking the over-the-counter medicines and feeling better in 2 days. So why even test? Because they don't do anything for it anyway, except for tell you to quarantine, hydrate, fever medicine, cold medicine, and that's it. So,
well, I still wear my mask when I'm going into stores and stuff. And unfortunately, it is the new way of life. When people start coughing, I'm giving them the side eye, because at the end of the day, you still have people that will cough and don't cover their mouths. You know what I mean? And you have to do what you have to do to protect yourself. And if you are ready, can you see this? Let me see.
Nope. Oh,
if
there you
you
go.
are ready, you don't have to get ready. I'm not be running out in those stores in no last minute looking for the paper. So if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That's right, President Biden. Get them together.
That is hilarious. And now y'all see where I get it from, because I told y'all I got caught slipping that one time. You listen, you don't get the opportunity to fool me twice. When my sanitizer gets, like, I have multiple bottles. So when I use one or two, I'm replacing. Same with toilet paper, same with paper towels, same with the Lysol wipes. When I get down to like the 1-3 pack, I'm replacing, because I feel like as food prices are surging, gas prices are surging, it's so expensive so even if they don't run out of the things this time, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, because the as harder as it is to get it, the more expensive it's going to. I'm not paying no daggone $20 for no pack of paper towels or toilet paper. So y'all done heard it here first. You better keep on stock and don't be waiting until treat it like they saying a blizzard's about to come, and how people be piling up on stuff. And we got a couple comments. Sunshine said she just found out a relative caught COVID. It's not over. I still wear my mask. Richard said we still need to protect ourselves regardless by wearing our masks, sanitizing our hands, social distancing, etc. Like Jackie just said, this is our new way of life and living. Sunshine said Miss Victoria is not playing. Lady J, you missed her. She done held up her pack of Cottonelle for the people in the back so they could see. We ain't playing no games around here. Miss Betty, hey Miss Betty. Miss Betty said, I still wear my mask. Sometimes I wear 2 masks. I know that's right. And Richard said, would you ever drive a car without a seatbelt? Nope. So it's always important to wear your mask regardless of whether or not you've been vaccinated.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. We being careful over here, y'all. I don't know about what everybody else is doing, but that's what we saying.
That's what we saying. That's what we saying. That's what we do.
All right, Lady J, let's talk about Mr. Terry.
Well, first I had to apologize to y'all because I had to dip out. So I'm doing this thing called Bye Bye Belly Juice, and I had to dip out because I had to go ahead and take you some business real quick. But we're gonna talk about that on another show. Because ain't no holding. You got to go. You got to go. Stop laughing at me, Kiara.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
She slipped that in there.
I did. Y'all got stubborn belly fat. Y'all hit me up. I'm gonna tell y'all how to do it. All right, let me
hit them DMs.
Hit them DMs. Okay, Terry Crews, and he is one of my favorite actors too. It was abuse, he says. Terry Crews recounts his mother's heinous act of checking to see if he'd entered puberty. Terry Crews has a physical appearance of brute strength, but according to the actor, beneath the mask is a man complicated by insecurities. His experience of growing up in a home where he witnessed abuse with the thinking that strength and overall stoic demeanor equated to masculinity has had a lasting impact on the actor. Crews, 53, unveils some of those invisible scars in his memoir, Tough: My Journey to True Power. He mentions that she made him pull down his pants to see if he hit puberty yet. Wow. Crews of what he calls one of the most valuable tales in his memoir. His mother checking to see if he had pubic hair. It was wild because I never envisioned actually being that transparent. It was so difficult because I love my mom, and to be honest, I didn't want her to go down as having done something so heinous. But at the same time, it was abuse. This is the stuff that came out in therapy, the stuff that I really had to address. As an adult, Crews suffered an equally humiliating similar incident when he was allegedly groped by a Hollywood executive. Crews publicly spoke out about the incident for the first time at the height of the Me Too movement, stating that he too was a victim. But elsewhere in the book, the White Chicks actor delves into the warped ideal of how a man should act or not act, for that matter, that were imparted to him by his father and later reinforced by his peers. So my question to you guys is, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that we need to do a better job at teaching our children, specifically our sons, on how to embrace their masculinity, but also how to express and not to suppress their emotions?
I think open communication with all of your children, whether male or female, is key. I mean, why she would feel the need to look, why not ask him? Have a conversation. A lot of parents are afraid to have certain conversations with their children, at least when, even when I was growing up, instead of my mom talking to me directly about female situations, she had my older sister do it because she didn't feel comfortable. So I'm not sure if that's where his mom was. She didn't feel comfortable with having the conversation, and why she just didn't ask her son, are you growing hair or whatever, and teaching him how to take care of his feminine whatever, or whether there was not a male figure around. So, I mean, I don't know the basis for it, but you just really have to not be afraid to communicate with your children. You can talk to them. I mean, even if they feel shy, the more that you communicate with them, the more comfortable they'll be. So, yeah.
And I stopped short of this story because it is just a lot. Because it is a lot. It is a lot. He's not just dealing with issues from his mother, but also, he says that growing up was not a good experience. My father was very abusive. A toxic masculinity is what he, viewed from his father. His father used to beat his mother. So his, overall home life was just toxic. It was just rough. And because of that, it has done something. It did something to him mentally and emotionally. It caused him, some issues over the years. So I feel for him. I really feel for him, because to look at him, you would not think that, but you
Right.
never know
Yeah.
what's on the inside of people.
Hmm.
You never know what's
Yeah,
on the
because I remember
inside.
when he was supposedly groped or whatever was going on,
Mm-hmm.
people were looking at him like he fell from the moon or something. Like
Right.
it couldn't happen to him because maybe of his size and his stature and that type of thing. But I mean, abuse can happen to anybody. I don't
Right.
care how big, how small, what color, whatever. It happens.
I really, especially, could appreciate the fact that, when he was vocal during, because that was at the height of the Me Too movement, and there were
Hmm.
so many women, the majority of them were women, these victims who were coming out, speaking against the Hollywood people who were doing all of these things to them at the parties and, backstage and all of these things. And when he spoke out about it, you're absolutely right. Everybody was looking at him like, oh, he's soft and he's this and he's that, and everybody had something to say, and I'm like, there are so many men, I'm certain of it, that experience stuff like this,
Absolutely.
whether at a young age or an adult, and they don't say anything for that reason, because
Right.
they have
Yes.
to worry about not only being blackballed and blacklisted, but they have to worry about the backlash from it, and
Hmm.
people having negative stuff to say about it. I feel like anybody who's a victim of anything should be able to speak their truth and not have
Absolutely.
somebody, have something to say about it.
Right.
And this mom is just weird. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it like it is. Ain't nobody else say it. It's actually, Sunshine said it sounds weird. Um, Bro, even if I didn't have my husband here, as a man to, look at my son, I would figure it out another way, whether I have to take him to his pediatrician, and have
Hmm.
them. Now, I'm not saying I'm afraid to, obviously, I'm a mom, but at this point, I don't want to see that.
Right.
Like, I'm checking for that. Like, we're having all the conversations. We can have all the dialect. We can talk about how you're growing, how you're feeling. Matter of fact, we do. I'm very hands on like that. My husband and I both. But me personally, I don't want to see that. Like, matter of fact, I'm going to be traumatized if I see that. So I'm not understanding why she felt the need to do that. And then I feel bad for him, because imagine how he felt. Like, what are you doing?
Right. Because I remember my son when he was little, when he turned 7 years old, I couldn't even come in the bathroom with him. I couldn't
Listen,
pass him the soap. He wanted to do everything himself. So I don't know where she came from with that either. I just really don't.
I'm sorry. I'm chuckling at my husband trying to get brownie points in the comments.
I saw it too. Richard said, I've always been taught that being a real man is more than what's underneath your pants or how much muscles you have. It's all about
Hmm.
handling your business and taking care of your family. Yes, yes, Richard. And
Hmm.
Mishan said, where'd you go? Where'd you go? That's because you're an amazing mom. I couldn't ask for a better life partner.
Oh.
Oh, that's so sweet. Get them points.
Richard also said, after hearing Terry Crews' story, I find it to be very creepy but impactful at the
The
same
same
time.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just like, and then I mean, at least ask him if, because, oh, matter of fact, just to jump back in there on my personal situation, my son had to go see a specialist for something, and I asked him, like, I asked permission, like, he's 13, and so although I was in the room, I was over there like this while he was on the table. And when she, went to show me something, I said, well, Boog, are you okay? Do you feel comfortable with me looking? And I
Hmm.
didn't feel comfortable with me looking, but I asked him and he said, oh, sure, mommy. He's on that. I don't know. He's still calling me mommy and giving me hugs. So I'm holding on to it. But yeah, you can't be, because I feel like otherwise, like, they're tiny people, but they have feelings, and you don't
Absolutely.
want
Yeah.
them to ever feel violated or feel like in
Hmm.
their mind, oh, just because you're the parent, you're allowed to touch stuff and look at stuff. No, I just think differently. I'm not doing that. Homegirl
Definitely
is,
creepy.
and
Definitely
I'm going to read this book now because just hearing just this overview of these things, it sounds like a very, very interesting read and something that's necessary for, our young men to read up on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you guys say, Lisa? Because you've been quiet today.
I just feel like with the father abusing the mother, most of the time when they're in situations like that, they tend to inflict what they want to give to the father onto the children.
Yeah.
So if he definitely being an older male or something, or a father's kind of favorite, that charged energy goes towards him, the neglect, all of that, because of the angriness she has for his father.
Yeah.
So it's just really, really sad, really sad.
I applaud him that he found the strength to be transparent. He found the strength to be open because, as you guys know, when you open up about something, you never know who you're gonna help. Who you think that you may be releasing for yourself, but there's always somebody out there that's gonna read your story and say, you blessed me, you helped me, and you helped me over, some feelings, some guilt feelings, some emotionals. What did I do to deserve this? But in reality, it has nothing to do with what you did to deserve what you were receiving. It's just, a lot of times that, those that are close to us can, they're in a position to take advantage of. But I really applaud him for, being his openness and sharing, because a lot of men would not.
Yes.
A
lot of men.
And I'm also grateful that, his experiences, because from what I've seen of his marriage and his family and the children, they had a reality show and stuff in the public. They were in the public eye. From what I've seen, he wound up, being a good dad, being able to be a good husband. Because we already know when we grow up in these environments, it could go one of two ways.
Right.
We could break the cycle and do better and want to be better, or we could follow down that same path
and pass it
on to absolutely. So kudos to him for that, and I'm definitely going to be reading that book. Richard says, just goes to show that even with celebrities, you may see their glory, but you don't know their story. Amen, little bro, to that.
Yes, yes, that part.
All right, we gonna roll on down to our next topic. We rolling right as all shucks. We showing off tonight, y'all. Y'all know we be barely breaking through number 4 because we be carrying on so long. We rolling right along to our next topic. A San Diego bus passenger was arrested on murder charges after breaking up a fight between a man and a woman. So I really wanted to get this one in because when I read the story, it made me think of my husband and the way that he is. So since you're listening, babe, well, I'm going to read the story first and then I'm going to say my comments. A man broke up a fight on a San Diego bus only to be charged with first-degree murder. Edward Hilbert, 55, was arrested after police responded to a call from the Metropolitan Transit Service officials about an incident on a bus Saturday night. A lieutenant with the San Diego Police Department said that Hilbert had intervened in a fight between a man and a woman on the bus, and in the process of holding the man back for several minutes, he lost consciousness while Hilbert restrained him. And by the time police arrived at the scene, the man was unresponsive and on the floor. So officers called for medics, performed life-saving measures until paramedics arrived. And unfortunately, the man was then pronounced dead at a local hospital. So Fox News reached out to the San Diego PD for further information, but did not receive a response. And so police arrested Hilbert on first-degree murder charge. According to records, he's in custody at San Diego Central Jail, where he is being held without bail. He is scheduled to be in court for an arraignment Wednesday afternoon. And so I believe that was Wednesday that just passed. So we have to follow along on that story and see what's happening with it. But what are you guys' thoughts on this? I mean, does this situation make you have second thoughts about helping someone or no? Because
I'm just questioning, like, how was he restraining him? In what way?
Is
like chokehold, or was he stepping on his neck? Like, I'm just wondering.
But what the
Yeah,
woman,
that's what
the
Sunshine
woman
said. How was he
the woman
restrained?
who was trying to defend what was her story on it, and the bus driver
Right.
had to see what was going on. So,
Right.
I mean, yeah, I think we definitely collectively need more details. However, the question was, does this situation make you have second thoughts about helping someone? Because, so Lisa, it doesn't say, and we'll have to, do a little bit more research and figure it out, but it's sounding to me, since dude lost consciousness, that he must have like had him in some type of chokehold where his air was getting cut off. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, I can appreciate the fact that he was standing up for a woman, being accosted by a man.
Mama Sugar.
God. Cut. I'm just lost. Wait a minute. I lost my train of thought. Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying. Oh, I was saying that I don't know what I was saying.
Standing up for a woman.
Yes, thank you, Lisa.
Pastor Phil. Pastor Phil.
I appreciate the fact that he was standing up for the woman. However, you got to be careful with stuff like that. I mean, we see this all the time. Tia, be glad you missed it, boo. It's okay. You got to be careful when you're helping somebody, because clearly that went left, that went wrong, that went out the window. So I don't know if, in the midst of it, he was, I don't know if maybe his emotions were going and his adrenaline was pumping, and so he just grabbed them and like what are you doing, and just forcefully, I don't know what happened, but we talk about that all the time. That's just like you getting into a fight with somebody on the street, and then they fall and they hit their head and they pass away. Like, you're done. So we just really have to be careful. I was saying I'm concerned because, I could see my husband doing something like that, maybe not physically, accosting somebody, but definitely getting in between or trying to, separate them, because that's just, I think any man would do that, especially if it was a man and a woman. Now, two men, they might kind of be like, all right, let me try to use my words to break them up. But since it was a man, and a woman, he felt like probably he was trying to do the right thing. And unfortunately, I just kind of hope that they look at all the facts before they just say, okay, first degree murder, like maybe manslaughter, or that's what I was thinking. Like maybe, because first degree murder, I feel like is a bit harsh unless he had intentions on taking this guy out. But if he was just trying to stop him from hurting the woman, then maybe, ugh. So do y'all, does this make y'all want to mind your business for life, or are you still going to help somebody?
I definitely feel like, what you say?
I'm going to still help somebody. I'm not going to put them in a chokehold or anything, but I'm going to help somebody.
Yeah, me too.
Sunshine said, when keeping it real goes wrong. True that.
Yeah, and she said most definitely he had the right idea to protect a woman.
Yeah.
But yeah, we going to need some more details, and we're going to follow along on this story, and let y'all know what happens, because that's, wow.
I think we definitely have to be very careful, when we, step in to intervene to help someone. Because I've seen it in the past where, you try to help somebody and the person that you're trying to protect, they turn on you. You know? And so you have to be very, so you have to be very careful at, who you attempt to help. Absolutely. Absolutely. So listen, okay, y'all, it's 7:56 and I'm already getting the gang signs. So, but I do want to cover this topic. Wait, let me make sure that, Okay, so do we want to talk about the Supreme Court and versus Roe versus Wade? 2 minutes. We can't talk about that. Okay, because that's gonna get real deep.
We're gonna save that for June for our
We'll save that for June. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, do we want to talk about what's his name? We were talking about it. We came on the dude that jumped Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah. So y'all, I know everybody then had to hear about it by now. You know, Dave Chappelle being attacked on stage. Why he actually wasn't performing. He was at a concert or something about to introduce somebody that was coming out. And dude ran up on the stage and attacked him and wound up in the hospital.
Yeah.
So the dude was in the hospital, or Dave Chappelle was in the hospital?
Oh no,
the dude was in the hospital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The dude, he attacked Chappelle, but then he ended up being the victim. He ended up catching a pretty bad stomp. Yeah, he a lot of people came from the behind the what's that, behind the curtain, behind the scene or whatever, and got him, you know, the security guards, a couple, I think Jamie Foxx was back there, a couple different other names was back there, and yeah, it didn't go the way that he expected. It didn't.
But see, doesn't the security supposed to be like in front on the stage so that they could kind of like prevent, like at a concert?
Oh, I don't know.
You mean like in the audience, right?
Yeah,
there?
or off to the side where if somebody jumps up there, they can hurry up and get them.
Generally, they are in front of the stage, like kind of, you know, facing the crowd here, and then there are some that are on the stage. So that was my first question when I heard the story. I'm like, how was dude even able to get up there, to get far enough or close enough to do that was like my first thing. Because if I was Dave, I would probably be having more of an issue with trying to sue the venue, or not unless it was his security team that needs to be fired. But somebody dropped the ball for sure, number one. And number two, you know, ever since this whole, Will Smith situation, it's almost like, okay, now people feel like they just have free will to just be attacking folks left and right. And Dave said that his wife was actually voicing to him her concerns about like safety for after the whole Chris Rock incident, because you know daggone well for yourself, just like these fools that were running around stealing ATMs every 5 minutes after for like months. Every time, monkey see, monkey do. So every time something happens, then everybody just wants to jump on the bandwagon. And I'm like, okay, it's a hard day to be a comedian nowadays, because you can't even tell a joke without having to worry about somebody either trying to attack you on stage or waiting for you after the show.
Yeah.
Well, this guy had a weapon. He had a weapon that looks like a gun with a knife on the end. So he was like really seriously trying to do something.
Yes.
Wow. All right, we deserve that arm rearranged.
I'm going to get these last two comments out there, and then we're going to close out. Richard said, now I see why it's important for celebrities to hire and recruit more extra security based on what happened to Dave Chappelle. And then James Spencer says, poor security. The beatdown may have been because they knew the perp shouldn't have gotten that far. Yeah, you're right. Yes, you're right. Tia said that dude will not do that again. Listen, that dude ain't gonna do it again, and I don't know if too many others are gonna do it either, because you know it usually takes one to be the real example.
Just like it took one to do it and make people feel froggy enough to do it, it took one to get a beat down, and then maybe people will think twice about trying to do stuff like that. That's crazy.
All right, y'all. What a way to close out the show. Interesting, interesting. Listen, I can't wait to come back in June so that we could talk about that other topic, because I know that's that's going to be really
Well, we may
interesting.
have some more details by that time too.
Yeah, we'll have some more details. All right, y'all. That is the show for this evening. Victory Talk. Listen. We want everybody to be on high alert. We want you to be on high alert. This is Victory Talk's 2nd year anniversary. Woo, woo. We doing two, yes. And so we are excited. We had some interesting things planned. The 27th, is that when our celebration is, Key? The 27th of May. It is going to be on a Friday evening. Please save the date. Mark your calendars now. It is going to be our Fit for Life segment. We are going to be in person. We are going to have a good time. There will be some vendors with us. There will be some Shea Brown's going to do some exercise and show us, a couple things that we can do as we are still on our Fit for Life journey. There'll be some jewelry, skincare products. You may even be able to get our book still. You'll be able to order your Bye Bye Belly Juice, and I will have some actual Bye Bye Belly Juice on site, so you'll be able to get that as well. We are going to have a good time. I believe we're going to have some vendors for some vegan food as well. So save the date. What's the date again, ladies?
May 27th.
Ooh, thank you, Mama Sugar. May 27th. All right. And the time, I believe, is going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. And it's going to be down at the church, 435 Maryland Avenue, Essex, Maryland, 21221. Yes. We will be in the parking lot, so get your sneakers ready, because we are going to come and have fun at our 2nd anniversary celebration. So I'm excited, so I hope y'all are excited too. And so we have had a good show, and we look forward to catching up with you guys again next week, same place, same time, 7 p.m. on Friday evening. I am your co-host, Lady J, for Victory Talk, and my girl.
It's your girl, Key. Oh, you can say that tonight. I'm saying it goodbye. It's your girl, Key. Bye bye belly juice. # check on your strong friends. We love y'all.
Yes. Good night, Lisa, good Mama night, Sugar. Y'all. Good night, everybody. Good night. All right.